Guys, I don't think you'll ever get an Nvidia GPU for cheap. Hey guys, and welcome in today's episode where I'm gonna show you why I genuinely think that we will never get to see a price drop for any of the Nvidia GPUs, especially not moving forward in 2024. I know that everybody wants to just game, and you want the latest and greatest. You want the 4070 Super, you want the 4070 Ti Super, 4080 Super, 4090 Super, and the list goes on and on. But hey, reality has a checkbox with all of us, and that is, well, our finances. That plainly said, it all comes down to how expensive Nvidia products are right now and for the foreseeable future. Anyway, I don't really think that they're ever going to go back down, and that's, well, plainly simply said, because Nvidia has other priorities, as you will see in this video if you stick around. This is basically a new format that I'm trying here on the channel, where I take hard facts from Nvidia themselves and try to share them with you so that you make educated guesses, not second guessing yourself as to what's going to happen in the future with prices. Should you wait for certain product launches? What prices should you expect and why? So basically, this is just sharing in the knowledge that is publicly available on the internet, but you just have to take a little bit of time to dig it up. So this is just me digging it up for you. And if you guys do like this format, you know what to do. I know it's been said a lot on all the channels, but it really helps me out if you just leave your thoughts and comments down in the box below. Don't worry, I do go through all of them, and well, even though I don't have the time to respond to everybody, I do get to see what everybody has to share in. Right, with all of this being said, now let's just jump into the official Nvidia stats, because you'll get to see what Nvidia is really focused on, where they're getting their money, and what is on the back burner, so to say. And I definitely genuinely think that even though GPUs for the masses like us, you and me, are not exactly on the last burner, they're definitely not on the front row, because you will see a big chunk of the revenue comes from somewhere else. So to start things off, let's just take a look here at the Nvidia revenue for 2023. This is basically a worldwide revenue between 2015 to 2023 and how it jumped. Keep in mind, this is in billions with a B of US dollars, so that is a lot of money. I don't think that most of us can actually quantify what this means, but it's definitely a huge number. So as you can see, in 2015, they were at a merely 4.68 billion in revenue, and it slightly went up even during the days of the pandemic. It went up quite a bit compared to 2015, 2016, 2017, when, prices for us and consumers seem to be more or less in the acceptable range for their Nvidia products. But after 2021, it definitely jumped a whole lot. And now we're sitting at 2023 with around 26 billion, close to $27 billion. That is the revenue for Nvidia worldwide in all of their enterprises. Now, if we look up Nvidia's portfolio companies, do keep in mind Nvidia as a company actually invests capital into other companies to do their research and development, or to track down other means of revenue for the parent company. So right now we are at around 60, so that is a number of organizations that are actually working in one way or another for Nvidia. So Nvidia is actually taking cash, giving them cash to do something for them in return, or maybe they're just companies who are doing their own thing, but Nvidia sees a future in that. So basically they're investing their capital into that company, hoping for a future return, if that makes sense. So as for the first clue right here, you have a company named Core AI. Yeah, okay. Databricks, data, yeah. I don't know, therapeutics, so they're into pharma as well, I guess, or something like that along those lines. Coherence, that seems, a little bit of AI-ish to me. Heavy AI, again, AI. So yeah, these are the companies that definitely are the main focus for Nvidia moving forward when it comes to their financial statement. So let's take let's take this guy here, Heavy AI. Okay, so this Heavy AI, who is Heavy AI? Let's see, Heavy AI about, so that's their own website right there. Heavy AI The Heavy AI executive leadership team has decades combined of experience in building high-performance technologies and high-growth businesses. Those leaders are backed by board of directors and group advisors who are thought leaders in databases, data visualization, GPU and CPU computing, and advanced analytics. Okay, so this is a whole lot of mumbo jumbo just to basically tell us that they're in charge of analytics while using GPUs and computer with databases or data centers in order to meet their goals. Like, Google is doing with their own analytics services, where they're gathering data on people and then sharing that data with other companies and basically getting money for it. I think that this is more or less the same thing, but using AI. So advanced computing with CPU and GPU. So basically Nvidia funneled some of that capital to this company right here in order to do their dirty work for them. So by now you should get the gist of things. Yes, AI is very important for them. Yes, data centers are equally as important for Nvidia. And no, us as end consumers with our 4090s, 80s, 40 Ti Supers, 4070 Ti Supers, and the list goes down and down and down and down. We are way somewhere in the back burner, but hey, let's just continue and see exactly for ourselves. So here we have it on the main site of Nvidia. Finally, okay, cloud and data centers. You have solutions, you have products for this. There is not a single product listed here of how expensive it is. You can get a list of partners where you could buy: Alibaba Cloud, of course Amazon, Google Cloud, IBM Cloud, Tencent Cloud, Oracle Cloud, Microsoft. You get the gist. They're all here. So they're all working with the cloud services provided by Nvidia with products provided by Nvidia. So you can at least get a sense of the scale of the players involved with Nvidia, and you can imagine just how much money is there to be thrown around in this environment. So yes, here we have Amazon Web Services as being one of their, primal focus point for Nvidia, because they have been teaming up with Amazon for the past 10 years, both developing products together and expanding services, or data centers I should say, for the services that Amazon requires more and more. And definitely one of the prime earners for Nvidia, pun intended with Amazon Prime, but yes, it is what it is. So basically customers around the world are using Amazon services for, machine learning, virtual workstations, high performance computing. They have here cloud services as well that are linked to Nvidia based edge devices. So, that basically means wireless devices that can act locally on a data center wherever they generate the data. So that is a high workload for Amazon, and basically they are using a lot of this equipment for Nvidia in order to get the job done. And definitely Nvidia is at the forefront of technology, helping Amazon along, achieving their profit goals, and vice versa, because Amazon is definitely going to help Nvidia achieve its profit quotas. So now let's compare the two colossals, one of them being truly grandiose and the other one is just here from last night, just left over, and by mistake woke up in the same place. On the left hand side here we have Nvidia's corporation sitting on $1.8 trillion market cap, which is absolutely amazing, and their market shares are valued at around 740 USD, which is again absolutely amazing. And on the right hand side here we have the little guy. We have Advanced Micro Devices Incorporated, or AMD, sitting on just 288 billion, and this is 1.8 trillion OMG, with a market share of $180 per share, which is... So this actually just tells me that Nvidia right now is so far down the road that if they look into the rearview mirror, they can't even see AMD anymore. AMD can flash their brights and do whatever. No, Nvidia doesn't see them. I think they are actually already past the corner, 2 miles down the road. So AMD is really far behind. That's why I think basically AMD doesn't have a chance to actually come up with something that will even make Nvidia blink towards them, when it comes to the products they are launching. I'm not saying that AMD doesn't have GPUs which are very good, because they do, but they could definitely be in a better position if they were a bigger threat to Nvidia, and that's how we would basically get to profit, but not in this environment. This makes it very hard because they're not competitive. It's a stretch to say they're not competitive with Nvidia. I mean, their market cap doesn't allow them to have the resources necessary to pursue performance like Nvidia can, because they are so far ahead of the curve. But this being said, let's just cover the fiscal year of 2023, and I'm just going to cover the latest quarter from Nvidia, because it really tells a story as to how much money data centers and AI is actually pouring into Nvidia versus AMD. Now, just to make things clear here, quarters, yes, that means you have Q1, Q2, 3 and 4, because every 3 months that's a quarter statement, but it doesn't have to start from January all the way up to December, because each and every company can actually adjust this depending on where is their peak performance. and definitely Nvidia doesn't start off with January. Understanding quarters, most financial reporting and dividend payments are done quarterly. Not all companies will have fiscal quarters that correspond to the calendar quarters, and it is common for a company to close its fourth quarter after its busiest time of the year. Okay, this being said, let's cover on Nvidia. So firstly, we have the press release. This was on the 21st of December 2023, and then we have something that was made for the investors. So this is the presentation for the investor that was released on the 27th of November 2023. We'll cover the one here and then move into this one because, well, there are little things that I want to point out. So earning summaries, yes, that is something that I'm very much interested in. And let's see here. Data centers. How much money did data centers make for Nvidia? Keep in mind the total revenue was $18,120 million in Q3 alone. So that Q3 alone, that is 3 months. That is the high, the peak season for Nvidia. They made $18 trillion in just Q3 alone, okay? So this $18,120 million, if you go back into the press release one, you'll definitely see here the revenue, which is the same for Q3. And yeah, let's see here. Outlook. Okay. Revenue expected to be $20 billion plus minus 2% for 2024. Well, 18,120, that is more or less 20 billion plus minus 2%. That's cool. Highlights. Nvidia achieved progress since its previous earning announcement in these areas. Okay, so let's cover the areas in the investors presentation. Let's see, data center. Okay, how much money did the data center business or enterprises brought in for Nvidia? Revenue, once again, is in millions of dollars. $14,514 million. That is 279% year over year profit for the data center enterprises with Nvidia only in Q3 alone. As you can see, they did around $10 trillion in Q2 as well, but they actually got around half more, so around $4 and something trillion more in Q3 than they did in Q2. That is absolutely mind-boggling, but they did that. So data centers compute revenue quadrupled from last year. Networking revenue nearly tripled. Strong, broad-based demand for Nvidia accelerated computing fueled by investment in the build-out of infrastructure for, I would say that this is something with machine learning recommendation engines and generative AI applications. Networking business now exceeds a $10 billion annualized revenue run rate. Nvidia H100 Tensor Core GPU instances are now generally available in virtually every cloud and are in high demand. Vast majority of revenue driven by Nvidia Hopper HGX with a lower contribution from the prior generation Ampere GPU architecture. New L40S GPU began to ship. First revenue quarter for GH200, and they are on track to exit the year at the annualized revenue run rate of $1 billion for our recurring software support and services offering. So they're making $1 billion only from their software support. Can you imagine the size of the pie they're sitting on with the data centers? This is absolutely crucial and big and most important for Nvidia. But what about the gaming? Come on, gaming can't be that bad, can it? Well, let's see. First of all, they have an increase of 81% year over year and 15% quarter to quarter for Q3 2024 when it comes to gaming. This is once again revenue in millions of dollars. So you're sitting at around, a profit of $2.8 billion alone just for Q3 with Nvidia for gaming with the current prices in the market. Yeah, imagine that. Highlights. Strong demand in the important back-to-school shopping season. They did take advantage of that now, didn't they? The RTX ecosystem continues to grow. There are now over 475 RTX-enabled games and applications. Released Tensor RT LLM for Windows, which speeds on-device LLM interference up to 4 times. GeForce now surpassed 1,700 PC titles including Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, and Starfield. So they have here some highlights for that $2.8 billion in revenue for Q3 alone. But this is $2.8 billion, while this is 14.5. You get the gist, don't you? But below gaming enterprise, there are two more stages for Nvidia, and that's basically right now professional visualization and the automotive industry. This is sitting at around 416 million and 261 million respectively, which is quite a far off ways from the 2.86 billion for the gaming industry. So I would say we still have some chance for real performance for, decent price point, although, don't quote me on this in the future, because this advice might age like fine milk, which I doubt is gonna be good in a few years time. But hey, yeah, whatever. So guys, after showing you all of these things today, what do you guys think overall? You saw how big the pie is for Nvidia, where they get the majority of the profits from, who are their end consumers, and the real target for them. And well, where does this leave us as gamers? What do you think? Please leave your thoughts and comments down in the box below. Do you think AMD has ever a chance to catch up to Nvidia, at least in the gaming sector, and provide real performance when it comes to GPUs? So much so that they will make Nvidia to actually lower their prices in order to be competitive with whatever offering AMD came up with. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, you know what to do. Hit me up in that comment section down below and stick around for the next one. And if you don't want to wait for the next one, then definitely, you can check it up here. Be subscribed to the channel and see you